Who has a severe visual handicap? A. The child. B. The woman. C. The man. The correct answer is C. The man is holding a white cane, which is an internationally recognized symbol used by individuals with a severe visual handicap. How do you behave? A. Continue driving at the same speed. B. Watch out for children. C. Be ready to brake. The correct answers are B and C. When you see children near the road, you must always be cautious. You should watch out for children as their behavior is unpredictable and be ready to brake in case they run into the road. How must you behave? A. Remain ready to brake. B. Drive past at the same speed. C. Slow to walking pace immediately. The correct answers are A and C. When you see a child's toy in the roadway, you must remain ready to brake and slow to walking pace immediately, as this is a sign that a child may suddenly appear. What should you do now? A. I overtake the cyclist. B. I slow down to walking pace. C. I remain ready to brake. The correct answers are B and C. You should slow down to walking pace and remain ready to brake to ensure the safety of the pedestrians and cyclists on the narrow street. What is the correct course of action in this situation? A. I stop and allow the person to cross the road. B. I drive to the left past the person, leaving sufficient clearance space. C. I flash my headlights to signal to the person that I am giving way. The correct answer is A. You must stop and allow the person to cross the road because the pedestrian has the right of way at the designated crossing. What risks must you be aware of? A. The children will not get off the road in time. B. Some children will turn around again. C. All children will wait on the pavement. The correct answers are A and B. When approaching children on the road, you must be aware of the risks that they may not get off the road in time and that some children may turn around again. The tram has just become stationary at the stop. What is the right course of action? A. Passengers boarding or alighting may not be impeded. B. Passengers boarding or alighting may be warned using the horn. C. Passengers boarding or alighting may not be endangered. The correct answers are A and C. When a tram has just stopped at a stop, passengers boarding or alighting may not be impeded and may not be endangered. You must wait and exercise extreme caution. How should you behave? A. Continue driving at the same speed. B. Slow to walking pace. C. Remain ready to brake. The correct answers are B and C. When driving on this kind of narrow street with pedestrians, you should slow to walking pace and remain ready to brake to ensure the safety of others. What must you heed in this situation? Hazard warning lights on. A. You may pass only if you are sure that passengers are not endangered. B. You may not pass under any circumstances. C. You may pass at walking speed only. The correct answers are A and C. When approaching a vehicle with its hazard warning lights on, you must pass only if you are sure that passengers are not endangered, and you must pass at walking speed only. What should you do? A. Remain ready to brake. B. Continue driving as before. C. Slow to walking pace. The correct answers are A and C. You should remain ready to brake and slow to walking pace, as the presence of a person with a stroller from behind a parked vehicle indicates a potential hazard. What should you do? A. Continue driving, because there are pedestrians on the left side of the road only. B. Wait to allow pedestrians to cross the road. C. Continue driving, because there is sufficient time before the pedestrians have reached my side of the road. The correct answer is B. You must wait to allow pedestrians to cross the road as they are on or about to enter the pedestrian crossing and have the right of way. What actions should you anticipate at such stops? A. Pedestrians will wait until the road is clear. B. Pedestrians will run across the road to the tram stop island. C. Pedestrians will step off the tram stop island unheedingly. The correct answers are B and C. When approaching a tram stop, you should anticipate that pedestrians may run across the road to the tram stop island and step off the tram stop island unheedingly. You should always be prepared for unpredictable behavior. You want to turn right. What must you be prepared for? A. The truck will stop. B. The pedestrian could let the truck pass by and then cross the road in front of me. C. After the truck has taken the turn, pedestrians could approach from the opposite side of the road. The correct answers are A, B, and C. When turning right, you must be prepared for multiple hazards. The truck will stop, The pedestrian could let the truck pass by and then cross the road in front of you. And after the truck has taken the turn, pedestrians could approach from the opposite side of the road. What must you be prepared for? A. For vehicle doors opening. B. For persons crossing. C. For visual obstructions. The correct answers are A, B, and C. When driving on this type of street, you must be prepared for vehicle doors opening, persons crossing, and visual obstructions created by parked cars. What should you anticipate? A. That it could be necessary to brake heavily. B. That adults could walk onto the road. C. That children could appear between the vehicles. The correct answers are A, B, and C. When driving on a street like this with many parked cars and pedestrians, you must anticipate that it could be necessary to brake heavily. You should also be prepared for both adults and children to unexpectedly walk onto the road from between the parked vehicles. What should you anticipate? A. That pedestrians will walk onto the road in front of me. B. That children will suddenly appear between the vehicles. C. That pedestrians will wait until I have driven past. The correct answers are A and B. When driving in this situation, you must anticipate that pedestrians will walk onto the road in front of you. You should also be aware that children may suddenly appear between the vehicles due to the visual obstructions. What should you anticipate? A. That pedestrians will suddenly walk onto the road. B. That doors of vehicles will be opened. C. That vehicles will begin moving. The correct answers are A, B, and C. When driving in this situation, you must anticipate several risks. That pedestrians will suddenly walk onto the road, that the doors of vehicles will be opened, and that vehicles will begin moving from their parked positions. What is your assessment of this situation? A. The pedestrian with the moped may change direction suddenly. B. I can continue driving at the same speed. C. The female pedestrian may walk unheedingly onto the road. The correct answers are A and C. You must assess the situation by anticipating the unpredictable behavior of pedestrians. The pedestrian with the moped may change direction suddenly, and the female pedestrian may walk unheedingly onto the road. There is oil on the road. What should you do now? A. I notify the fire brigade. B. I avoid heavy braking and abrupt steering movements. C. I swerve onto the left-hand side of the road. The correct answers are A and B. If there is oil on the road, you should notify the fire brigade to have the hazard removed. You must also avoid heavy braking and abrupt steering movements, as the oily surface significantly reduces tire grip and could cause you to lose control of your vehicle. What must you be prepared for here? A. A vehicle coming from the right. B. An extended braking distance. C. A narrowed carriageway. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must be prepared for a vehicle coming from the right, as your view is obstructed. The wet and leafy road also creates an extended braking distance, and the parked truck causes a narrowed carriageway. You are driving following a heavy rain shower. What should you be aware of in this situation? A. Splash water might impair my vision. B. I should maintain a large safety distance between me and the vehicle ahead. C. It is difficult for me to detect uneven areas on the road surface. The correct answers are A, B, and C. After heavy rain, splash water can impair your vision, and the wet road surface means you should maintain a large safety distance. It is also difficult to detect uneven areas on the road surface due to the water. Why does driving on this stretch of road require greater alertness on the part of the motorist? A. Driving on the tracks is dangerous. B. The road surface is uneven and road grip varies. C. A tram might come from the opposite direction. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Greater alertness is required because driving on the tracks is dangerous. The road surface is uneven and grip varies, and a tram might come from the opposite direction. Why must you drive with particular caution here? A. Because the view is obscured by the bend. B. Because the roadway is made narrower by the wrongly parked car. C. Because the roadway is slippery. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must drive with caution because the view is obscured by the bend, the roadway is made narrower by the wrongly parked car, and the roadway is slippery due to the snow and ice. What is the right course of action here? A. I brake carefully. B. I allow the pedestrian on the right to cross the road. C. I carefully continue driving because there are no markings visible on the road. The correct answers are A and B. You must brake carefully due to the slippery, snow-covered road, and allow the pedestrian on the right to cross the road, as they have the right of way at the pedestrian crossing. Why do you have to pay particular attention here? A. Because it is not clear which direction the road will take. B. Because the road surface is uneven. C. Because oncoming traffic could cut the corner. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must pay particular attention because it is not clear which direction the road will take. the road surface is uneven and oncoming traffic could cut the corner. Why might taking the right turn be dangerous here? A. Because my vehicle might start to skid if I take the turn too fast. B. Because I might possibly not be able to stop in time if pedestrians are crossing the side street. C. Because vehicles emerging from the side street could start to skid. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Taking the right turn is dangerous because the snowy road is slippery, so your vehicle might start to skid if you take the turn too fast. What is the correct course of action in this situation? A. I brake hard while in the bend. B. I reduce my speed. C. I avoid jerky steering movements. The correct answers are B and C. Given the warning sign and the snowy road, you must reduce your speed before entering the bend. You must also avoid jerky steering movements to prevent skidding on the slippery surface. What must you do in this situation when you are dazzled? A. If necessary, reduce your speed. B. Accelerate to get out of the beam of light more quickly. C. Look to the right-hand edge of the roadway. The correct answers are A and C. When dazzled by headlights, you must reduce your speed and look to the right-hand edge of the roadway to maintain your orientation and avoid a collision. What must you be aware of here? A. That your vehicle will not be seen in time. B. That you only detect oncoming vehicles after it is too late. C. That the traffic lights are hardly distinct from the colored signs. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Because of the many bright lights and signs, your vehicle may not be seen in time. You may also only detect oncoming vehicles after it is too late, and the traffic lights are hardly distinct from the colored signs. Why might driving along this road become dangerous? A. Because oncoming vehicles will only be detected very late. B. Because persons on the road can be easily overlooked. C. Because poorly lit vehicles can be difficult to detect. The correct answers are B and C. Driving on this road is dangerous because persons on the road can be easily overlooked, and poorly lit vehicles can be difficult to detect due to the low light conditions and visual obstructions. What should you do in this kind of visibility? A. I switch on my main beam lights. B. I reduce my speed. C. I keep towards the right-hand edge of the carriageway. The correct answers are B and C. When visibility is poor, you should reduce your speed to allow for more time to react. You should also keep towards the right-hand edge of the carriageway to avoid oncoming traffic. What must you be aware of here? A. Of vehicles speeding. B. That junctions will not be noticed. C. That children may run onto the road. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must be aware of vehicles speeding due to the straight road. You should also anticipate that junctions may not be noticed and that children may run onto the road from the side. Why are you not allowed to overtake now? A. Because of the very poor condition of the left side road surface. B. Because the cyclist could turn off to the left. C. Because I am not able to see possible oncoming traffic in good enough time. The correct answers are B and C. You are not allowed to overtake because the cyclist could turn off to the left, and you are not able to see possible oncoming traffic in good enough time due to the visual obstruction from the hedge. What should you anticipate if you want to overtake? A. With the risk of skidding. B. With the unsafe riding manner of the cyclist. C. With an extended stopping distance. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You should anticipate the risk of skidding, the unsafe riding manner of the cyclist on the snow, and an extended stopping distance due to the slippery road surface. Why must you be particularly careful here? A. Because a vehicle could come from the right. B. Because the car coming from the left has priority. C. Because there is an increased danger of skidding when braking. The correct answers are A and C. You must be careful because a vehicle could come from the right at the intersection. Additionally, the wet leaves on the road create an increased danger of skidding when braking. What should you anticipate? A. Pedestrians crossing the road. B. A vehicle driving past the bus. C. That I will have to stop at the junction. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You should anticipate pedestrians crossing the road because of the bus. You must also be prepared for a vehicle driving past the bus and for having to stop at the junction ahead. What should you do in this situation? A. Continue driving as before. B. Reduce speed. C. Be ready to brake. The correct answers are B and C. You must reduce your speed and be ready to brake due to the narrow road and the large oncoming vehicle. You want to turn right at the junction. What is the right thing to do? A. I may only cross over the cycle lane at walking speed. B. I change lanes as early as possible. C. I may not impede cyclists in the cycle lane. The correct answers are B and C. When turning right, you should change lanes as early as possible to prepare for the turn. You must also not impede cyclists in the cycle lane, as they have the right of way. When could a dangerous situation arise here? A. If I continue driving at the same speed. B. If the cyclist changes to my lane. C. If the cyclist stops at the end of the cycle path. The correct answers are A and B. A dangerous situation could arise if you continue driving at the same speed because it may not leave enough time to react. It is also dangerous if the cyclist changes to your lane unexpectedly. What is the right course of action now? A. I maneuver over to the left side of the road. B. I get ready to brake. C. I watch the cyclist closely. The correct answers are B and C. You must get ready to brake because cyclists and pedestrians may behave unpredictably. It is also important to watch the cyclist closely to anticipate their movements. What must you anticipate on the other side of this crest in the road? A. There may be a slow-moving vehicle on my side of the road. B. A vehicle may be stationary there. C. There may be an oncoming vehicle on my side of the road. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Because the road crest ahead obstructs your view, you must anticipate that there may be a slow-moving vehicle on your side of the road. A vehicle may be stationary there, and an oncoming vehicle may be on your side of the road. What must you be prepared for in this situation? A. Police regulating traffic. B. An uneven and dirty roadway. C. Workers and construction equipment on the roadway. The correct answers are B and C. In this construction zone, you must be prepared for an uneven and dirty roadway and for workers and construction equipment on the roadway. You want to turn right. What should you do? A. Check way is clear by glancing over your shoulder. B. Take the turn ahead of the cyclist. C. Allow the cyclist to pass through the junction. The correct answers are A and C. Before turning right, you must check that the way is clear by glancing over your shoulder to see any cyclists. You must also allow the cyclist to pass through the junction as they have the right of way. What should you anticipate? A. Pedestrians could cross the road in front of the van. B. The motorbike could swerve to the left. C. The person beside the van could encroach further onto the road. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must anticipate that pedestrians could cross the road in front of the van, that the motorbike could swerve to the left, and that the person beside the van could encroach further onto the road, as all are common risks in this situation. Ahead of the motorbike, a car is seeking to reverse on the road. What should you anticipate? A, that the motorbike will suddenly brake. B, that my braking distance will be longer than normal. C, that the car continues to reverse. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You should anticipate that the motorbike will suddenly brake and that the car continues to reverse into the road. You must also remember that your braking distance will be longer than normal due to the snowy conditions. What must you be prepared for in this situation? A, that the truck driver will jump down onto the carriageway. B, that traffic signs are concealed behind the truck. C, that oncoming traffic will appear. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must be prepared for the possibility that the truck driver will jump down onto the carriageway, that traffic signs are concealed behind the truck, and that oncoming traffic will appear from around the parked vehicle. What must you be prepared for here? A, oncoming vehicles turning left. B, vehicles turning onto the road. C, people walking on the road. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You must be prepared for oncoming vehicles turning left, for vehicles turning onto the road from the side, and for people walking on the road due to the nearby playground. I want to rejoin the road. What is the correct assessment of this situation? A, when they approach me from the rear, drivers only see me late. B, I only see vehicles late. C, drivers give my priority in rejoining the road. The correct answers are A and B. When rejoining the road, drivers behind you may only see you late, and because of the parked cars, you also only see vehicles late. Why is it dangerous to carry on driving past this accident scene? A, because secondary accidents can occur. B, because pedestrians can be overlooked. C, because the traffic movement situation is unclear. The correct answers are A, B, and C. It is dangerous to drive past the accident scene because secondary accidents can occur, pedestrians can be overlooked, and the traffic movement situation is unclear due to the presence of emergency vehicles and people. What must you anticipate in this situation? A, the cyclist will dismount to allow me to pass. B, the cyclist will pull out to the left. C, oncoming traffic. The correct answers are B and C. you must anticipate that the cyclist will pull out to the left to avoid an obstruction and that there will be oncoming traffic. You want to turn left. What driving line should you maintain? A. The right driving line. B. The left driving line. C. Both driving lines are possible. The correct answer is A. When turning left, you must maintain the right driving line to ensure you enter the new road on the right-hand side and do not cut the corner, which could endanger oncoming traffic or traffic that is already on the side road. You want to leave the roundabout at this exit. What is the right thing to do? A. I must allow the pedestrian to cross the road. B. I must allow the cyclist to cross the road. C. I have priority over the road users crossing the road. The correct answers are A and B. When exiting a roundabout, you must allow the pedestrian to cross the road and allow the cyclist to cross the road, as both have priority over the turning vehicle. You want to turn right here. What is correct? A. I have right-of-way over both pedestrians. B. I have to let both pedestrians cross the road. C. I only have to let the oncoming pedestrian cross the road. The correct answer is B. When turning, you must let both pedestrians cross the road. A turning vehicle must always yield to all pedestrians using or about to use the roadway they are turning into. All three vehicles want to turn left, which is in the correct lane. A. The yellow car. B. The truck. C. The green car. The correct answer is A. The yellow car is in the correct lane. Although the green car is in the far left lane, the yellow car is in the lane that is explicitly marked with a left turn arrow on the road surface, designating it as the correct lane for the maneuver. After turning left, you want to turn immediately right. How should you position your vehicle? A. Like the red car. B. Like the green car. C. Like the blue car. The correct answer is A. You should position your vehicle like the red car by moving into the rightmost lane immediately after completing the left turn. This is the correct lane position for a right turn. Who must signal a change of direction here? A. No one. B. The motorcycle. C. I myself. The correct answer is B. The motorcycle is required to signal because it is coming from a minor road and is performing a definite turn to enter the priority road. Who is required to indicate? A. The red car. B. Me. C. The blue truck. The correct answers are B and C. You must signal, because you are leaving the priority road's course by going straight. The blue truck must signal because it is entering the priority road from a side road. Who is required to indicate a change of driving direction here? A. Me. B. The red car. C. The motorbike. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Me, the red car, and the motorbike are all required to indicate a change of direction. This is because all three vehicles are either leaving the priority road or entering the priority road from a minor road, and thus must signal their maneuver. What is the right course of action? A. I have to wait at the stop line. B. I have to allow the cyclist to pass through. C. I may make the turn in front of the cyclist. The correct answers are A and B. You must wait at the stop line because of the stop sign. You must also allow the cyclist to pass through because they have priority when you are turning or entering a main road. The cyclist wants to continue straight ahead. What is the right course of action here? A. I overtake the cyclist. B. I remain behind the cyclist. The correct answer is B. You must remain behind the cyclist. Attempting to overtake right before or during your right turn would create a dangerous situation where you could cut off or hit the cyclist, who is proceeding straight. Who has to indicate in this situation? A. The red car. B. Me. C. The blue car. The correct answers are B and C. You, me, are required to indicate because you are making a left turn. The blue car must also indicate because it is leaving the priority road's course by continuing straight ahead. You want to exit the property lot. What is the right thing to do? A. I sound my horn briefly so that the pedestrians will allow me to exit. B. I have to wait until the pedestrians have crossed over the exit. C. I may drive on if the pedestrians waive their right of way. The correct answers are B and C. You have to wait until the pedestrians have crossed because they have priority when you are exiting a property lot. However, you may drive on if the pedestrians clearly waive their right of way and allow you to proceed. You want to continue driving straight ahead. What is correct in this situation? A. I cross over the junction. B. I allow the convoy to pass through. C. I wait at the stop line. The correct answers are B and C. You must wait at the stop line because the yellow traffic light or the proximity of the junction requires caution, especially with a convoy approaching. You must allow the convoy to pass through because it is a special priority vehicle group that you cannot impede. You want to continue driving straight ahead. What is the right course of action? A. I overtake the vehicle alongside me and switch lanes. B. I remain waiting in my lane. C. I move to the right if there is sufficient space in the traffic. The correct answers are B and C. You must remain waiting in your lane if the traffic situation doesn't allow a safe change. However, since you are driving in a lane where traffic may be stopped or slow due to a tram stop or a vehicle that could be turning, you should move to the right if there is sufficient space to continue driving straight without impeding others. Who is wrongly parked? A. The dark-colored car. B. Neither of the two cars. C. The white car. The correct answer is C. The white car is wrongly parked because it is parked within the marked area for a bus stop. Parking is generally prohibited within this marked area to ensure buses can pull in and out safely. What must you be aware of here? A. It is not permitted to stop to the left of the boundary line of the carriageway. B. Slower moving vehicles must use the hard shoulder if possible. C. Driving across the boundary line of the carriageway is prohibited at all times. The correct answers are A and B. You must be aware that stopping to the left of the solid white line of the main carriageway is not permitted. Additionally, on a main road like this, slower moving vehicles are required to use the hard shoulder if it's available to allow faster traffic to pass safely. Who has stopped incorrectly? A. Both cars. B. The red car. C. The yellow car. The correct answer is B. The red car has stopped incorrectly because it is parked directly on the pedestrian crossing, which is prohibited. Vehicles must not stop on or immediately next to a pedestrian crossing if it would impede or endanger pedestrians. Where may you park here? A. In my direction of travel, on the left and right-hand hard shoulders. B. On the left-hand hard shoulder only. C. On the right-hand hard shoulder only. The correct answer is A. You may park on both the left and right-hand hard shoulders because the blue sign with the white arrow indicates this is a one-way street. Einbahnstraße. On a one-way street, parking is generally permitted on both sides in the direction of travel. These level crossing barriers have not moved for some time now. What is the right course of action? A. I do not cross the level crossing. B. I report the fault to the police. C. I cross the level crossing taking extra care. The correct answers are A and B. You must not cross the level crossing while the barriers are down, as this is extremely dangerous and strictly forbidden. If you suspect a malfunction because the barriers have been closed for an unusually long time, the correct and safe action is to report the fault to the police. What must you do in this situation? A. I have to stop in front of the level crossing. B. I have to drive on past to the left of the flagman. C. I have to drive on past to the right of the flagman. The correct answer is A. You must stop in front of the level crossing. The closed barriers, the flashing light signal, and the flagman directing traffic all indicate an immediate and total prohibition on crossing the railway line. You must always obey the signal from a flagman. What is the correct course of action in this situation? Hazard lights are off. A. I maintain my speed. B. I drive with an increased level of alertness. C. I slow down to walking speed now. The correct answers are A and B. You must maintain your speed and drive with an increased level of alertness. Since the hazard lights on the bus are off, it is not indicating that children or passengers are currently disembarking or crossing the road. However, the bus is standing at a stop, so you must still drive with increased alertness to be prepared for any sudden movement by the bus or pedestrians. What is correct in this situation? A. Here I may only overtake the cyclist at a moderate speed. B. Here I may not overtake the cyclist. C. Here I may overtake the cyclist because there is no oncoming traffic visible. The correct answer is B. You may not overtake the cyclist here. The law prohibits overtaking in situations where there is insufficient lateral clearance, or where the traffic situation is not entirely clear and safe. In this narrow urban area with parked cars and oncoming traffic potentially obscured by them, the required safety distance for overtaking cannot be guaranteed. What must you anticipate with traffic islands like this? A. Pedestrians thinking that they have the right of way over the road. Traffic. B. Cyclists crossing the road without paying attention to the traffic. C. Pedestrians always respect the right of way for vehicles. The correct answers are A and B. You must anticipate pedestrians thinking they have the right of way, and cyclists crossing without paying attention. Traffic islands are crossing points, and it's crucial to be prepared for the unpredictable actions of vulnerable road users who may be distracted or misjudge the traffic situation. What is the correct course of action in this situation? A. I continue driving at the same speed. B. I watch the pedestrians closely. C. I reduce my speed and prepare to stop if necessary. The correct answers are B and C. You must watch the pedestrians closely and reduce your speed and prepare to stop. This is a pedestrian crossing, zebra crossing. You must always approach a pedestrian crossing with extreme caution and be prepared to stop immediately to grant pedestrians their right of way. What should you do in this situation? A. I wait this side of the pedestrian crossing until the blue vehicle has made the turn. B. I pull up directly behind the blue vehicle. C. I allow the pedestrian to cross the road. The correct answers are A and C. You must wait before the pedestrian crossing to avoid stopping on it, which is prohibited and unsafe. While waiting, you must also allow the pedestrian to cross the road, as they have the right of way at the crossing. What is the right course of action? A. I take the turn before the oncoming pedestrian because only this one is required to wait. B. I wait because the two pedestrians have priority. C. I continue driving because the two pedestrians have to wait. The correct answer is B. You must wait because both pedestrians have priority. When turning right, you must always yield the right of way to any pedestrians or cyclists who are crossing the road you are turning into. What is correct? A. I must get ready to proceed. B. I can turn now. C. The yellow car must leave the crossroads. The correct answers are A and C. You must get ready to proceed, as the green arrow indicates a right turn is permitted despite the red light. However, you must first wait for the yellow car to leave the crossroads, as vehicles already in an intersection have the right to clear it. Remember, a green arrow requires you to stop and yield before turning. What is the right course of action now? A. I wait outside of the junction for further instructions from the police officer. B. I let the blue vehicle move first. C. I cross over the junction carefully. The correct answer is C. You must cross over the junction carefully. The police officer's signal means the road traffic coming from the front and back of the officer must wait while you may proceed. Who has priority here? A. Me. B. The red car. C. The motorbike. The correct answer is B. The red car has priority. This is a situation where the red car is following the main priority road's course. Both you and the motorbike are leaving the main priority road and must yield to vehicles following its course. What is the right thing to do in this situation? A. I must turn round. B. I must wait before the junction. C. I must, without waiting, turn right. The correct answer is B. You must wait before the junction. The police officer's signal, with their back turned towards you, is the equivalent of a red light. You are required to stop and wait for a signal that permits you to proceed. What applies here? A. The crossroads may be crossed. B. You must wait for further signals from the police officer before the crossroads may be entered. C. Turning off is prohibited. The correct answer is A. The police officer is directing traffic with their arm pointing sideways to your direction of travel. This signal is the equivalent of a green light, meaning you are permitted to proceed straight or turn. Traffic coming from the front and back of the officer must wait. Which conduct is right? A. I may turn observing the traffic signs. B. I may only turn when the lights show green. C. The green car must wait. The correct answers are A and C. You may turn observing the traffic signs because the traffic light is out of order, so the priority signs apply. The sign indicates you have the right of way over the green car. Therefore, the green car must wait. How should you behave in this situation? A. Pass through the crossing without stopping. B. Stop on the line of sight. C. Stop on the stop line. The correct answer is A. The green traffic light overrides the stop sign. Since the light is green, you are permitted to pass through the crossing without stopping, provided the intersection is clear. Where must you wait? A. At the point where you can see along the intersecting road, sideline. B. Level with the traffic lights. C. At the stop line. The correct answer is C. You must wait at the stop line. The stop sign and the presence of a stop line on the road mean you must come to a complete stop directly at this line, not at the line of sight. You must only then proceed carefully if the way is clear. What is correct in this situation? A. Traffic continuing ahead may proceed. B. Traffic turning left may proceed. C. Traffic turning right may proceed. The correct answer is C. The traffic light is showing a red light for straight ahead and left turning traffic. Only the green arrow for turning right is illuminated, which means traffic turning right may proceed. What is correct in this situation? A. I have to wait in the center of the junction. B. I may turn unimpeded. C. I must allow the oncoming traffic to pass through. The correct answer is B. You may turn unimpeded because the green left turn arrow is illuminated. This arrow indicates that your turn is protected, and no oncoming traffic has a green light or is permitted to cross your path. You now want to turn right at these traffic lights with a green arrow sign. What is the right course of action? A. I ensure that other road users are not impeded. B. Without stopping, I take the turn at walking speed. C. I initially halt at the stop line. The correct answers are A and C. When a green arrow sign is lit next to a red light, it permits a right turn, but only after you have initially halted at the stop line. You have taken the right lane by mistake, although you want to turn left. How are you allowed to proceed? A. Straight ahead. B. To the right. C. To the left when the traffic lights are green. The correct answers are A and B. You must not change lanes at the last minute because you are in the wrong lane. Therefore, you are only allowed to proceed straight ahead or to the right, as indicated by the arrows in your lane. You must not turn left from this lane. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow the cyclist to pass through. B. I have to allow the motorcyclist to pass through. C. I may make the turn before the cyclist. The correct answers are A and B. When turning left, you must yield to any oncoming traffic and any road users who are continuing straight across the junction. Therefore, you have to allow both the cyclist and the motorcyclist to pass through before completing your turn. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow the cyclist to turn. B. I may be the first to pass through the junction. C. I have to allow the red truck to turn. The correct answer is B. You may proceed first because you are driving straight ahead. Both the red truck and the cyclist are turning left and must yield to you. What is the right course of action? A. The blue truck has to allow me to pass through. B. I have to allow the blue truck to pass through. C. I have to allow the tractor to turn. The correct answers are B and C. You are facing the give way sign and must yield to all traffic on the priority road. What is the right course of action? A. I take priority before the bus. B. I have to allow the bus to pass through. C. I have to allow the motorcycle to pass through. The correct answers are A and C. You must yield to the motorcycle because, by turning left, you must yield to oncoming traffic continuing straight. What is the right course of action? A. I take priority before the bus. B. I have to allow the bus to pass through. C. I have to allow the motorcycle to pass through. The correct answers are A and C. You must yield to the motorcycle because, even though you are on the priority road, you are turning left, and the motorcycle is oncoming and driving straight ahead on the same priority road. What is the right course of action? A. I may be the first to make my turn. B. I may only turn after the motorcycle. C. I may turn before the yellow car. The correct answers are B and C. You must turn only after the motorcycle because, when turning left, you must yield to oncoming traffic that is proceeding straight. You are driving on a road that has a protective lane for cyclists. How may you use the protective lane? A. If there is no risk to cyclists, I may stop on the protective lane. B. If there is no risk to cyclists, I may drive on the protective lane when necessary. C. If there is no risk to cyclists, I may park on the protective lane. The correct answer is B. You may drive on the protective lane when necessary, but must not endanger cyclists. It is prohibited to stop or park on the protective lane. What is the right course of action here? A. I allow the yellow vehicle to pass through. B. I take the turn ahead of the yellow vehicle. C. I take the turn ahead of the red car. The correct answer is A. You are facing the give way sign. This means you must yield to all traffic on the priority road. What is the right thing to do? A. I have to allow the red car to pass. B. I give way to the green car. C. I turn left before the green car. The correct answer is B. You are turning left and must give way to the green car, which is oncoming traffic proceeding straight ahead. The red car is turning left from a side street onto your road and must yield to you. What is the right thing to do? A. I have to give way to the motorcycle. B. I have to give way to the blue car. C. I may drive out before the blue car. The correct answers are A and B. You are facing the give way sign and a supplementary sign indicating the priority road bends. You are turning right onto the priority road. Therefore, you must give way to all traffic on the priority road, which includes both the motorcycle. Who has priority here? A. The electric scooter. B. The red truck. C. Me. The correct answer is A. You are turning left and must yield to all oncoming traffic. The electric scooter is approaching from the opposite direction and is continuing straight, meaning it has priority over your turning vehicle. What is the right course of action here? A. I may proceed ahead of the green car. B. The green car may proceed ahead of the red car. C. I may proceed ahead of the red car. The correct answer is B. You and the red car both face give way signs. Thus, the right before left rule applies between the red car and the green car. The green car has priority over the red car. Both must proceed before you. What is the right course of action here? A. The yellow car may proceed ahead of the red car. B. I may proceed ahead of the yellow car. C. I may proceed ahead of the red car. The correct answers are A and C. Since there are no priority signs, the right before left rule applies. The yellow car, on the right of the red car, has priority over the red car. The red car must yield to both you and the yellow car, as it is on the left of both. Therefore, the yellow car and you may proceed before the red car. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow the motorcycle to pass through. B. The tram must allow me to make the turn first. C. I have to allow the tram to pass through. The correct answers are A and C. You are facing the give way sign, inverted triangle, meaning you must yield to all traffic on the intersecting priority road. This includes both the motorcycle and the tram. The tram has priority not only because it is on the priority road, but trams generally have priority at intersections unless traffic signs or lights specifically indicate otherwise. What is the right course of action here? A. The motorbike may proceed ahead of the yellow car. B. I may proceed ahead of the yellow car. C. I may proceed ahead of the motorbike. The correct answers are A and B. You and the motorbike are following the main priority road's course. The yellow car is leaving the priority road and must yield to both of you. What is the right course of action here? A. I may be the first to proceed. B. I have to allow the red car to turn. C. I have to allow the cyclist to pass through. correct answer is A. You are driving straight ahead. The red car is turning left, and the cyclist is turning left. Both turning vehicles must yield to you, the vehicle proceeding straight. Therefore, you may be the first to proceed. What is the right course of action here? A. I have to allow the blue truck to pass through. B. I may proceed before the yellow car. C. I have to allow the yellow car to pass through. The correct answers are A and C. You are turning left and must yield to all oncoming traffic. Both the blue truck and the yellow car are oncoming vehicles and have priority over your left turn. What is the right course of action? A. I may drive through. B. I have to allow the blue car to pass through. The correct answer is A. You are following the main priority road's course, indicated by the supplementary sign. The blue car is leaving the priority road. Therefore, the blue car must yield to you, and you may drive through first. What is the right course of action here? A. I have to allow the red car to pass through. B. I have to allow the blue car to pass through. C. I have to stop on the stop line. The correct answers are B and C. You must stop on the stop line because you are facing a stop sign. You must also yield to all traffic on the priority road, including the blue car. The red car is also facing a stop sign and must yield to the blue car and any traffic approaching from the left. What is the right course of action? A. I allow the motorcycle to turn before me. B. I allow the blue car to turn. C. I am the first to proceed. The correct answer is B. You are turning left at an uncontrolled intersection. The general right before left rule applies. The blue car is coming from your right and is turning left, so it has priority over you. The motorcycle is on your left and must yield to both you and the blue car. What is the right course of action? A. I have to give way to the red car. B. I have to give way to the tram. C. I may be the first to proceed. The correct answer is C. You are on a priority road. Both the red car and the tram are turning onto or crossing the priority road from a side street. Therefore, they must yield to you, and you may be the first to proceed. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow right of way to the green car. B. I may drive through. C. I have to allow right of way to the blue car. The correct answer is B. You are following the main priority road's course. Both the green car and the blue car are leaving the priority road. Therefore, they must yield to you, and you may drive through first. What is the correct conduct? A. I let the tractor turn. B. I drive first. C. I let the tram through. The correct answer is C. You are turning left. Trams generally have priority at intersections. Therefore, you must let the tram pass through. What is the right course of action? A. I may turn left before the cyclist. B. I have to allow the cyclist to pass through. C. I forego my right of way so as to not block the junction. The correct answers are B and C. When turning left, you must allow the oncoming cyclist to pass through as they are continuing straight. Since you must yield, you may also need to forego your right of way to avoid blocking the junction. What is the right course of action? A. I move after the two cars. B. I move after the blue car. C. I move before the two cars. The correct answer is C. You are driving straight ahead. Both the yellow car and the blue car are turning left. Turning vehicles must yield to traffic driving straight. Therefore, you move before the two cars. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow the red car to pass through. B. I may proceed before the blue truck. C. I may only proceed after the blue truck. The correct answers are A and B. You are following the main priority road's course. The blue truck is leaving the priority road, so you may proceed before it. The red car is oncoming and following the main priority road's course, but you are turning left, so you must yield to the red car. What is correct in this situation? A. The motorbike has to wait. B. I have to signal a left turn. C. I have to allow the motorbike the right of way. The correct answer is C. You are leaving the priority road. The motorbike is following the main priority road's course. Therefore, you must allow the motorbike the right of way. Who has priority? A. The green tractor. B. Me. C. The red car. The correct answer is B. You are following the main priority road's course, indicated by the supplementary sign. Both the red car, turning left, and the green tractor, leaving the priority road, must yield to you. What is the right thing to do? A. The yellow car has to wait. B. I have to wait. C. I have to indicate. The correct answers are A and C. You are turning right into a roundabout, so you do not have to wait. The yellow car is turning left across your path and must yield to you. Since you are turning right, you must indicate your intention. What is the right course of action? A. The motorbike is obliged to wait. B. I have to wait. The correct answer is B. You are turning left at an uncontrolled intersection. The general right before left rule applies. The motorbike is approaching from the right, so it has priority and you have to wait. You want to turn left. Who is required to wait? A. I have to wait. B. The blue vehicle has to wait. The correct answer is A. You are turning left off the main road into a side road. The blue vehicle is oncoming and proceeding straight ahead on the main road. When turning left, you must yield to oncoming traffic. What is the right course of action? A. The cyclist has to wait. B. I have to wait. The correct answer is B. You are facing a give way sign. You must yield to the cyclist who is approaching on the priority road from your left. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow the blue car to pass through. B. The blue car has to allow me to turn. C. I have to allow the cyclist to turn. The correct answers are A and C. You are turning left. You must yield to oncoming traffic. You must also yield to the cyclist who is crossing the road in front of you. What is the right course of action? A. The blue truck may proceed first. B. I have to allow the cyclist to pass through. C. I may make the turn in front of the cyclist. The correct answer is B. You are turning right. You must yield to the cyclist who is continuing straight and is crossing the road you intend to enter. The blue truck must wait because it is turning left and has to yield to you. What is the right course of action? A. I have to stop on the stop line. B. I have to give way to the cyclist. C. I have to give way to the bus. The correct answers are A, B, and C. You are facing a stop sign, so you must stop on the stop line. You must also yield to all traffic on the priority road, which includes the cyclist and the bus. What is the right course of action? A. I may proceed before the motorcycle. B. The cyclist has to allow me to pass. C. I have to allow the cyclist to pass through. The correct answers are A and C. You are driving straight ahead at an uncontrolled intersection. You must yield to the cyclist who is approaching from your right. The motorcycle is turning left and must yield to you. Therefore, you may proceed before the motorcycle, but you have to allow the cyclist to pass through. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow the blue vehicle to pass. B. I may make the turn before the green vehicle. C. I have to allow the green vehicle to pass through. The correct answers are A and B. The supplementary sign indicates that the priority road is curving left. The blue vehicle is coming from the left on the priority road, so you must yield to it. The green vehicle is leaving the priority road. The green vehicle must yield to you. Therefore, you may make the turn before the green vehicle. What is the right course of action? A. I have to allow right of way to the blue car. B. I have to allow right of way to the red car. C. I have right of way ahead of the blue car. The correct answers are B and C. You are turning left. You must yield to the oncoming red car because it is proceeding straight. However, you have the right of way over the blue car, which is turning left out of the side street and across your path. What is the right course of action? A. I move first. B. I have to allow the yellow car to pass through. The correct answer is A. You are driving on a priority road. The yellow car is waiting to turn left onto the priority road from a side street which appears to have a give way sign. Therefore, you have the right of way and move first. In what sequence may each continue driving? A. The cyclist, the yellow car, me. B. Me, the cyclist, the yellow car. C. The cyclist, me, the yellow car. The correct answer is C. The cyclist, following the priority road course, goes first. You, leaving the priority road to go straight, go second. The yellow car, turning onto the priority road from a non-priority road, goes last. Who can move first in this situation? A. The blue tractor. B. Me. C. The red car. The correct answer is B. The blue tractor is turning left and the red car is driving straight. You are also driving straight and are on the right side of the road. Since the tractor turning left must yield to oncoming traffic traveling straight, you and the red car is behind you, you move first. What is the right course of action here? A. I warn the cyclist by sounding the horn. B. I wait until the cyclist has completed the turn. C. I take priority before the cyclist. The correct answer is B. You are turning left. The cyclist is approaching from the opposite direction and is continuing straight. Traffic turning left must yield to oncoming traffic that is proceeding straight. Therefore, you must wait for the cyclist to pass before completing your turn. What must you anticipate in this situation? A. Children walking out onto the road. B. People exiting their vehicles via the side nearest the road. C. There is a pedestrian crossing up ahead. The correct answers are A and B. The children crossing sign indicates the potential for children to suddenly enter the road. The row of parked cars means you must also anticipate that passengers might suddenly open their car doors on the traffic side. The sign only warns of children. It does not indicate a pedestrian crossing. What is the correct course of action in this situation? A. I avoid abrupt steering movements. B. I brake hard. C. I reduce my speed. The correct answers are A and C. The road is wet and winding, increasing the risk of skidding. Therefore, you must reduce your speed and avoid sudden braking or steering maneuvers to maintain control. What should you be prepared for here? A. For an extended braking distance. B. For the poor visibility of my vehicle. C. For increased tire traction. The correct answers are A and B. Heavy rain causes longer braking distances and significantly reduces your vehicle's visibility to others. Wet roads always decrease tire grip. Where are you particularly at risk during an overtaking maneuver here? A. When changing lane after overtaking. B. When driving into the truck's wind-sheltered area. C. When driving out of the truck's wind-sheltered area. The correct answers are B and C. When overtaking large vehicles at speed, the transition is risky due to sudden changes in wind pressure, both when entering the sheltered area and when abruptly leaving it to pass the front of the truck. What must you anticipate in this situation? A. When driving into the wind-protected area alongside the truck, my vehicle may be forced rightwards. B. The truck ahead of me may be forced rightwards. C. My vehicle may be forced leftwards. The correct answers are A and C. When entering the truck's sheltered area, the loss of crosswind forces your vehicle rightwards. When passing the truck's front end, you are hit by the sudden crosswind, which forces your vehicle leftwards. When overtaking several trucks, you are faced with this situation. What should you do now? A. I continue overtaking quickly and pull back into lane in front of the red truck. B. I abort the overtaking maneuver. C. After pulling back into lane, I again establish an adequate safety distance. The correct answers are B and C. Due to the approaching blue truck, it is currently too dangerous to complete the overtaking maneuver. You must immediately abort the maneuver, pull back behind the red truck and establish a safe following distance. What should you do here? A. I should drive to the left past the damaged road surface. B. I should greatly reduce my speed. C. I should continue driving in my lane. The correct answers are B and C. The damaged and possibly wet road surface requires you to greatly reduce your speed to avoid loss of control. You must stay in your lane because driving to the left would involve crossing into oncoming traffic. While driving, you use your vehicle's adaptive cruise control, ACC system. What must you anticipate in these weather conditions? A. The ACC stops the vehicle. B. The functionality of the ACC may be negatively affected. C. I have to personally control my speed and distance. The correct answers are B and C. Poor visibility and heavy snow or slush can easily impair the sensors used by adaptive cruise control, negatively affecting its functionality. In such hazardous weather, the driver must maintain personal control over speed and distance, rather than relying on the assistance system. What must you anticipate here? A. A reduced amount of side clearance from oncoming traffic. B. That you may be dazzled by the low-lying sun. C. Pedestrians on the carriageway. The correct answers are A and C. The snowbanks lining the road reduce the available width, meaning you must anticipate less side clearance from oncoming traffic. Also, due to the conditions and the rural setting, you must anticipate that pedestrians may walk on the roadway instead of the shoulders. Dazzling sun is unlikely given the cloudy, snowy conditions shown. Why is it dangerous to overtake on this snow-covered carriageway? A. Because my vision may become even more negatively affected. B. Because my vehicle may skid. C. Because parts of the carriageway may be iced over. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Overtaking on a snow-covered road is hazardous because it risks skidding, reduced visibility from spray, and hidden ice patches that can cause loss of control. What do you have to be aware of in this situation? Due to the constant changing of light and shadow, A. I may be poorly visible to other road users. B. I'm more easily able to judge distances. C. I have to drive with particular care. correct answers are A and C. The alternating pattern of bright light and dark shadows makes it difficult for other drivers to spot your vehicle. These conditions also impair your own ability to accurately judge distances and see the road clearly, requiring extra caution. What should you anticipate in this situation? A. Slow-moving vehicle on my side of the road. B. Fast oncoming traffic cutting the corner. C. Wild animals crossing the road. The correct answers are A, B, and C. The blind curve in a wooded area requires you to be ready for slow vehicles ahead, oncoming cars crossing the center line while cornering, and animals suddenly emerging from the forest. You want to overtake. What is the right course of action here? A. I do not overtake because oncoming traffic could emerge. B. I overtake because no oncoming traffic is visible. C. I do not overtake because the yellow vehicle might want to overtake. The correct answers are A and C. Overtaking is unsafe because the crest or curve in the road ahead can hide oncoming traffic from view. You must also account for the yellow vehicle in front, which might suddenly pull out to perform its own overtaking maneuver. Why are you not allowed to overtake here? A. Because I may not cross over the central lane markings. B. Because I do not have an adequate view of the road ahead. C. Because I cannot maintain an adequate passing distance from the cyclists if there is any oncoming traffic. The correct answers are B and C. The blind curve ahead prevents a clear view of potential oncoming traffic. Because the road is narrow, you cannot ensure a safe lateral distance from the cyclists if another vehicle suddenly emerges from the curve. Why are you not allowed to overtake here? A. Because the side clearance to the cyclists is too small. B. Because I may endanger oncoming traffic. C. Because I may not cross the center line. The correct answers are A and B. Overtaking is prohibited because the road is too narrow to maintain a safe lateral distance from the cyclists. Additionally, moving out to pass would create a head-on collision risk with oncoming traffic. The vehicles ahead of you are driving at about 30 kilometers per hour. Why are you not permitted to overtake before the road bend? A. Because my overtaking distance is too long. B. Because the red car might pull out to overtake. C. Because I am not permitted to cross the lane marking. The correct answers are A and B. The distance remaining before the road bend is too short to safely complete an overtaking maneuver. Additionally, you must expect that the red car directly in front may pull out to overtake the vehicle ahead of it at any moment. What must you anticipate in this parking area? A. Trucks that are incorrectly parked. B. Vehicles emerging from parking spaces. C. People on the roadway. The correct answers are A, B, and C. In motorway service areas or rest stops, you must drive with extreme caution because large vehicles often protrude into the driving lane. Other cars may pull out of parking spots unexpectedly, and pedestrians frequently cross the roadway. What must you reckon with here? A. The vehicle in front changing lanes. B. Denser traffic beyond the underpass. C. The right-hand lane coming to an end. The correct answers are A and B. The lane markings indicate that the left lane is ending, so you must expect the vehicle in front to merge into your lane. Additionally, since visibility is limited through the underpass, you must be prepared for a sudden increase in traffic density on the other side. A traffic jam is building up here. What is the correct procedure? A. Drive as far as possible to the right in order to leave room for a channel on the left. B. Drive as far as possible to the left in order to leave room for a channel on the right. C. If possible, switch on hazard warning lights to warn vehicles following behind. The correct answers are A and C. When traffic comes to a standstill on a multi-lane road, you must move to the far right of your lane to create an emergency corridor for rescue vehicles. You should also use your hazard lights to alert drivers behind you of the sudden obstruction. What is correct in this situation? A. I have to reduce my speed. B. The truck has right of way. C. The truck has to wait. The correct answers are A and B. You are approaching a priority road where the main road curves to the left. The truck is already on this priority road, meaning it has the right of way. You must slow down and prepare to stop to allow the truck to pass before you continue. You are driving at least 20 kilometers per hour faster than the green truck. What should you do? A. I stop at the end of the merging lane and move onto the motorway behind the blue truck. B. I move onto the motorway ahead of the green truck. C. I brake and move onto the motorway behind the green truck. The correct answer is B. Since your speed is significantly higher than the green trucks, you should use the acceleration lane to merge safely ahead of it. Braking or stopping at the end of the merging lane would create a dangerous speed differential and disrupt the flow of traffic on the motorway. You want to join the motorway. What driving line should you follow? A. 2. B. 1. C. 3. The correct answer is C. When turning left to join a motorway or another major road, you must follow the guidelines to ensure you enter the correct lane and do not cut the corner into oncoming traffic lanes. Line 3 represents the correct, wide arc required to safely clear the intersection and align with the intended lane. You want to leave the motorway. What is the right course of action? A. I use the speedometer to check my speed at short intervals. B. I reduce my speed now. C. I reduce my speed only once I am at the turn. The correct answers are A and B. When exiting a motorway, you must begin reducing your speed early on the exit lane to safely negotiate the upcoming sharp curve. Because long periods of high-speed driving can dull your sense of velocity, it is essential to check your speedometer frequently to ensure you have actually slowed down enough. What should you anticipate when driving out the exit slip road? A. People on the carriageway. B. A fallen load. C. A broken down vehicle. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Motorway exits can contain unexpected hazards that are difficult to see until you have entered the slip road. You must be prepared for dangerous situations such as pedestrians walking near a disabled car, cargo that has fallen off a previous vehicle, or a broken down vehicle obstructing the narrow lane. The vehicle ahead has prevented you from overtaking for some time now. What is the right course of action? A. I close the gap. B. I sound my horn and flash my headlights persistently. C. I wait until I am able to overtake. The correct answer is C. Even if you are frustrated by a slower vehicle, you must remain patient and maintain a safe following distance. Harassing other drivers with lights or horns or tailgating is dangerous and illegal. You must wait for a safe, legal opportunity to pass. What is the correct course of action on this one-way road? A. I wait until the works enable me to drive past. B. I turn around and drive back. C. I reverse back up the road. The correct answer is A. On a one-way road, it is strictly forbidden to turn your vehicle around or to drive/reverse in the opposite direction of the permitted flow of traffic. You are driving a car with a caravan in tow. What is true regarding your distance to the vehicle ahead? The distance, A, is appropriate because the overtaking vehicle can pull back into lane in front of me. B, to the overtaking vehicle must be re-established once it has pulled back into lane. C, is too large because it exceeds the length of my combination vehicle many times over. The correct answers are A and B. When driving a long vehicle combination, you must maintain a larger gap to the vehicle in front. This allows faster vehicles to overtake you safely and pull back into the right lane without being stuck in oncoming traffic. What is true about using the hard shoulder in this situation? The hard shoulder. A. May only be used in a breakdown situation. B. May only be used by trucks. C. Must be used like a right-hand lane. The correct answer is C. Follow overhead signals. The electronic signs above the motorway explicitly show 3 active lanes, including the lane over the hard shoulder. Treat it as a driving lane. When these signals are active, the hard shoulder is temporarily opened for traffic and must be used as the normal right-hand lane. What is true in this situation about using the hard shoulder? A. The hard shoulder may only be used by trucks. B. The hard shoulder must be used in the same way as a right-hand lane. C. The hard shoulder may only be used in the case of a breakdown. The correct answer is C. The electronic signal above the hard shoulder shows a red X, which means the lane is closed for normal driving and may only be used for emergencies or vehicle breakdowns. You want to turn left. Which line should you follow? A. The left driving line. B. The right driving line. C. The middle driving line. The correct answer is C. When turning left from a one-way street, you must follow the middle line to maintain a safe arc that avoids cutting the corner into oncoming traffic while also staying clear of the sidewalk. You want to turn left. Which line should you follow? A. The middle driving line. B. The right driving line. C. The left driving line. The correct answer is C. You are on a one-way street and intending to turn left. Therefore, you must position your vehicle as far to the left as possible before turning to ensure a correct and safe driving path. You want to reverse park on the right-hand side of the road. What is correct in this situation? A. I anticipate that vehicles may exit their parking spaces. B. I switch on my hazard lights. C. I closely observe the oncoming traffic before maneuvering into the space. The correct answers are A and C. When reverse parking, you must remain alert to your surroundings by anticipating other parked cars moving and carefully monitoring oncoming traffic to ensure the road is clear before starting your maneuver. You have stopped in a parking strip and now want to exit your vehicle. What must you do in this situation? I observe the traffic approaching from the rear. A. By glancing over my left shoulder before opening the door. B. Just by looking through the slightly opened door. C. by looking in my left-hand exterior rearview mirror before opening the door. The correct answers are A and C. To exit safely, you must check your mirrors and perform a shoulder check to spot cyclists or vehicles in your blind spot before opening the door. The automatic lighting system is activated on your car. What should you anticipate when driving in the lighting conditions shown? A. I will only be seen very late by the road users behind me. B. The automatic lighting system will switch on my fog lights. C. The low beam does not turn on automatically. The correct answers are A and C. Automatic lighting sensors often only react to darkness and may not detect fog or daytime mist, meaning your low beams and rear lights might remain off. What must you do when a traffic jam forms on this road? Remaining within my lane, A. I drive as far to the left as possible. B. I drive as far to the right as possible. C. I continuing driving in the center. The correct answer is A. Since you are in the leftmost lane of the motorway, you must drive as far to the left as possible within your lane to help create an emergency corridor for rescue vehicles between the leftmost lane and the lane next to it. You want to exit the motorway. What is the right course of action in this situation? A. I watch out for oncoming vehicles. B. I continue by driving on the hard shoulder. C. I move into the left-hand lane. The correct answer is C. The right lane and the hard shoulder are blocked by a construction site barrier, so you must move to the left-hand lane to continue toward the exit. How can lane changing assist help you in this situation without steering override? The assist: A. Performs a lane change independently. B. Brakes the speed of my vehicle. C. Warns of a possible collision with a vehicle in the middle lane. The correct answer is C. Without steering override, the lane changing assist acts as a safety sensor that detects other vehicles in your blind spots or adjacent lanes and provides a warning to prevent a collision. What should you do as you draw near to this heavy goods transport? A. I move into the right-hand lane. B. I refrain from overtaking. C. I overtake taking extra care. The correct answers are A and B. The heavy goods vehicle has a flashing arrow and a no overtaking sign displayed on its rear, indicating that the left lane is blocked or restricted. You must move to the right-hand lane and avoid attempting to overtake for safety. What is true of permanently illuminated signs? A. Permanently illuminated signs either block lanes or open them up to traffic. B. Vehicles may not stop at the side of carriageways with permanently illuminated signs. C. Permanently illuminated signs apply to multi-track motor vehicles only. The correct answers are A and B. These overhead signals regulate lane usage by using green arrows to open lanes or red crosses to block them, and they also imply a prohibition on stopping along that stretch of road. What do these permanently illuminated signs mean? Vehicles traveling in lane. A. One may continue driving on it. B. Two must change to the right side lane. C. Three in lane, four must stop. The correct answers are A and B. The green arrow over lane 1 indicates it is open for traffic, while the diagonal yellow arrow over lane 2 warns drivers to merge right, because the lane ahead will be closed by the red crosses shown over lanes 3 and 4. A vehicle with flashing blue lights and siren sounding is approaching you from the rear. What is the right course of action now? A. I drive over to the right side as far as possible. B. I reduce my speed. C. I stop immediately. The correct answers are A and B. When an emergency vehicle approaches with lights and sirens, you must clear the way by moving as far to the right as possible and slowing down to let them pass safely, but you should not stop immediately as this could cause a sudden obstruction or collision. When are you allowed to remain on the left-hand lane in this situation? If my vehicle, A, including the load, actually has a maximum width of 2 meters, B, is 2 meters wide according to the registration certificate, Part 1. The correct answer is A. The traffic sign indicates that the left-hand lane is restricted to vehicles with an actual width of no more than 2 meters, which often differs from the width stated in the registration papers. What do you have to be aware of in this situation? A. In 200 meters, the width of the left-hand lane is going to narrow. B. Including its exterior mirrors, my vehicle is wider than the width specified in the vehicle documents. C. The left-hand lane is going to narrow for a distance of 200 meters. The correct answers are A and B. The signs indicate that the left lane narrows in 200 meters, and you must remember that your vehicle's actual width, including mirrors, is greater than the technical width listed in your registration papers. You want to transport furniture in the van shown here, up to 3.5 tons. Compared to driving a car, what do you have to be aware of? The van, A, requires special attention regarding vertical clearances. B, is vulnerable to side winds. C. Can roll over more easily when cornering. The correct answers are A, B, and C. Because of its larger size and higher center of gravity, you must be careful with low bridges. Stay alert for strong side winds that catch the large surface area and take corners slowly to prevent the vehicle from tipping over.